Two games old.
Welcome to Courtside Coffee, where we serve up a dose of tennis talk with a splash of insight and a sprinkle of controversy. I'm your host, Merlisa, and today we're covering a topic that's been making the waves on social media, the behavior of the American women tennis players at these Olympics. Specifically, we're talking about Coco Gauff, Danielle Collins, and Emma Navarro. Let's get started. So the question we're asking today is whether the actions of Coco Gauff, Danielle Collins, and Emma Navarro were as brats, sore loser, or all the other things that veteran writer Peter Bodo suggests. The controversy started when Peter Bodo, a veteran tennis writer, posted on X, "I'd love to say I hate to say it, but I won't because I believe it. The U.S. women tennis players at these Olympics, previously so appealing, have come off as alternately arrogant, whiny, and bitter. Maybe they just fired each other up, and not in a good way." So let's break this down. First, it's important to acknowledge that athletes, especially at the Olympic level, are under immense pressure. The stakes are high and emotions run even higher. But the question is, are these emotions being unfairly scrutinized when it comes to female athletes? Second, I never like to assign a specific behavior to a group of individuals, so it kind of bugged me when he gave this blanket criticism to the U.S. women's tennis team. He didn't call out anybody individually, and the U.S. women's tennis team included not only Gauff, Navarro, Collins, but Pegula and Jessica Pegula and Desiree Krosick. She's a double specialist, but they were on the team too, so he just called out all the U.S. women, and I didn't think that was right. So let's break down the behavior of the American women individually. Now, Pegula and Krosick had drama-free runs. I don't remember them doing anything that warrant a discussion. Maybe that's because their Olympic runs ended sooner than the others. But let's start with Collins. Collins had a run-in with Iga Swiatek, the number one player. They had split sets, and then, of course, Iga took her long bathroom break, not breaking any rules, but some people think it's gamesmanship. Things got worse when, in the heat of battle, Swiatek would keep raising her racket, kind of slowing down Collins's serving motion. So Collins took exception with this, and she even said to the ref at one point, "There's like no one behind me." So she was like, "You need to play at the server's pace." Eventually, Collins retired before the match was over. And then when she went over to shake Iga's hand, she started scolding her, like giving her a lecture about gamesmanship. Now, Navarro, her case stirred a lot more controversy because her opponent, who won the gold medal, Qinwen Zhang of China, Navarro accused her of having a cutthroat attitude. And after the match, they asked Navarro, "What did you say to her?" And she said, "I just told her I didn't respect her as a competitor. I think she goes about things in a pretty cutthroat way. It makes for a locker room that doesn't have a lot of camaraderie, so it's tough to face an opponent like that, who I really don't respect." I thought that was rather harsh, because I've never heard of any locker room hate for Zhang, so there must be something I don't know about. And if cutthroat attitude, what does that even mean? In sports, you're kind of supposed to have a killer instinct, so I don't even know what she meant by that. And I feel like if you're going to attack a player and accuse them of something, you need to have some evidence. And I didn't see anything that happened in that match, or I haven't seen anything in Zhang's play that warrants that kind of a put down. Now, during her match against Croatia's Dana Vekic, Gauff challenged a call that the chair umpire made. And to me, something like what Navarro said and what Collins said, they were specifically talking about gamesmanship and behavior. Gauff didn't have any problem with her opponent. This was something aimed at a chair umpire. The incident came in the second set as Vekic had a crucial break point while leading 3-2. Remember, Gauff had already lost a tough first set. So as Coco returned a shot, the ball was called out in the middle of her hitting motion and disrupting her swing. The chair umpire then overruled the call and said it was in, giving Vekic the point and the game. Coco was arguing that even though she had swung at it, it made her pull up. And if you play tennis, you know the follow through is just as important as how you hit the ball, but how you finish your swing. And to me, in that case, if there's anything shady, particularly on such a crucial point, why not just replay the point? But, the chair umpire, and it's his call, said there was nothing that would have changed Coco's swing, and so he just gave her the point. Coco was so distraught, she started crying, she called out an official, she felt like she was being cheated. Now, to her credit, after the match, she was like, look, I was losing anyway, I don't think this one thing was the reason I lost. She was making that clear. But I see her behavior as completely different, because I feel like if you're not belligerent, it's okay to challenge a call. You shouldn't be judged on how emotional you get about it, as long as you don't threaten anybody, as long as you don't throw rackets, hit anybody, or draw blood. And I'm not kidding. And if you don't believe me, look up Nalbandian and side judge, and he actually drew blood one time. So does this behavior of these women warrant a tennis writer describing them as whiny, arrogant, and bitter? Tennis is an individual sport. Is it fair to hang these negative traits on the U.S. women's team? Now, Navarro, Gauff, and Collins, they're fierce competitors who show frustration during their matches. They are individuals, and they're, not at their best moment, but we never lumped Arthur Ashe in with McEnroe. Why aren't women allowed to have different personalities? Why must they be judged as princess or pariah? I'm always saying that we want women to be a princess or pariah. We just don't have that middle ground. We've seen many male players have meltdowns on the court. McEnroe, Nick Kyrgios, Fabio Fognini. I mean, he's just one of the worst. Even Djokovic has had some on the court outbursts. Yet these actions are often seen as passionate, fiery, or just part of the game. Why is it that when women display similar emotions, they're judged more harshly? This brings up the question of misogyny. Is there a double standard at play here? Historically, women in sports have had to fight for equal recognition and respect. When a male player splashes a racket or yells at an umpire, it's often brushed off as a competitive spirit. When a female player does the same, she's unprofessional, immature, too emotional. It's crucial to consider societal expectations placed on women, to be composed, agreeable, even in high-stress situations. Even in the political realm, we see with new candidate Kamala Harris. First, she's attacked for laughing too much. Then she's scolded as being, too tough. And we saw that at the NABJ convention where the black female journalist was being mean, nasty, and rude. So we're unserious when we laugh, mean when we don't. Even with gains we see in the coverage of the WNBA, there's increased prize money. Female athletes still have to fight through attempts to put them in a box with sugar and spice and everything nice. You're either totally non-controversial, like Caitlin Clark, even though I know Caitlin Clark talks trash on the court, or you're branded a thug, like they talked about Angel Reese. Guys get into it all the time. In fact, in the NBA Finals, somebody lost a tooth, and nobody accused the person who hit him as being jealous. But if a woman does a hard foul, she must be jealous of the other woman. So I feel like sometimes women are judged way more harshly and aren't expected to just be athletes. They're out there. Yes, they are women, but they're also competing, and they should be allowed to compete and show whatever they feel is a normal emotion for them. We don't all have to act the same. So, were Golf, Collins, and Navarro behaving like sore losers, or were they simply showing the same human emotions that male players display, but under a harsher spotlight? That's all for today's episode of Courtside Coffee. Remember to follow us on social media and subscribe to the podcast for more deep dives into the world of tennis. Until next time, stay caffeinated and keep on brewing.